Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something that may shift the way you live your life forever. What would you do differently today? If you knew, not hoped, not guessed, but knew, that everything was going to work out just fine, would you worry less? Would you speak with more confidence? Would you dare to take that risk you've been putting off for years? Would you finally move forward on that dream instead of hesitating one more day? Let me tell you something I learned early in life. Success doesn't begin with circumstances. It begins with certainty, and not the kind of certainty that comes from guarantees, but the kind that comes from within. The kind that says, no matter what it looks like right now, I will act as if this will work out, because that's how you make things work out. You see, attitude is a magnet. What you believe, you attract. What you expect, you move toward, and what you act on with faith, you multiply. But here's the catch. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It responds when you move as if you already are. Acting as if everything always works out begins with one powerful internal shift: belief. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending that life is perfect. It's about choosing to operate from a mindset of deep confidence in the process. This kind of belief shapes the way you carry yourself, how you speak, how you make decisions, and how you show up in the world. Most people think they need results before they can believe in something. But the truth is, results often come only asterisk after asterisk belief takes root. When you act as if your goals are achievable and your efforts are worthwhile, you send a strong message to yourself and to the world that you are serious. And seriousness breeds momentum. When your belief is solid, hesitation fades. You stop second, guessing every move, and start trusting the path you're on. This kind of belief isn't about arrogance or self-delusion. It's grounded in purpose. It says, I may not see how yet, but I trust that my efforts matter. And that's powerful. It energizes your actions. It transforms how you handle failure and setbacks. Instead of seeing obstacles as dead ends, you start seeing them as temporary roadblocks on a longer journey that's still heading in the right direction. Belief turns fear into fuel. It gives your work meaning. It gives your days direction. When you adopt this mindset, you stop waiting for proof. You stop needing permission. You begin to lead with purpose instead of being pushed by pressure. And the remarkable thing is this: when you act from belief long enough, life begins to reflect it. Opportunities appear, people respond. Progress becomes inevitable, not because of luck, but because belief guided your every move. That's where everything starts to work out, not magically, but through intention and consistency. One of the greatest misconceptions people have is that confidence must come before taking action. They believe they need to feel ready, fully prepared, and perfectly qualified before they start. But in truth, confidence is not the starting point, it is the reward. It comes from doing, not from waiting. Every person who has ever achieved something great started before they felt fully equipped. They made the call, gave the speech, launched the business, or took the leap while still unsure. And through that action, through movement, they built confidence step by step. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to move forward despite the questions. When you act without waiting for perfect confidence, something amazing happens. You begin to see that you are more capable than you thought. Each step you take reinforces your self-trust. You start to realize that fear is not a sign to stop. It's often a sign that you're growing. The gap between who you are and who you want to become is not bridged by planning alone. It's bridged by movement. Even small, uncertain steps can create massive momentum if they are consistent. Most people wait their whole lives for a moment when they'll feel brave enough. But the truth is, bravery is not a feeling. It's a choice. You can choose to act now, even while afraid. That decision alone begins to build the inner strength that confidence is made of. Every time you do the hard thing, you train your mind to trust yourself more. So don't sit around hoping for confidence to arrive. Create it by acting as if success is possible. Over time, the fear shrinks and the confidence grows, because action is the bridge and belief walks across it. The energy you bring into the world shapes what the world brings back to you. Your attitude is not just a mood, it's a signal. It communicates what you expect, what you believe, and what you're ready for. When you walk into a room with quiet confidence, speak with purpose, and carry yourself like someone who expects things to go right, people notice. More importantly, opportunities respond. Life has a way of aligning itself with the energy you project. If you constantly expect things to go wrong, you unconsciously act in ways that sabotage your own progress. But when you expect things to work out, you act with clarity, optimism, and consistency, qualities that draw results toward you. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus your mind on possibilities rather than problems. It's a conscious decision to move with belief, even when things look uncertain. When your attitude reflects strength, calm, and faith, it creates momentum. It inspires trust in others. It allows you to be present in challenges without being crushed by them. People want to work with those who radiate that kind of belief because it's contagious. Just like negativity can pull things down, positive expectation lifts things up. The truth is, your life often rises or falls to the level of your expectation, and the attitude you carry each day either attracts opportunity or repels it. When you begin to act as if things are working out for you, you approach problems with solutions in mind. You don't get stuck in doubt. You keep moving forward. Over time, this magnetism becomes real. Life begins to cooperate, and what once felt like chance starts to feel like design, because your mindset was leading the way all along. To truly succeed, you must shift your identity before your circumstances catch up. Most people wait until they have the results to see themselves as successful. They say, once I get the promotion, I'll feel like a leader. Or once I make the money, I'll act like a professional. But lasting transformation doesn't work that way. You have to step into the identity first. Think, speak, and behave like the person you aim to become, even before you see the external evidence. This is the heart of acting as if. It's not faking it. It's aligning your daily habits, language, posture, and mindset with the future version of yourself you're building. When you take action from this future identity, everything changes. You stop hesitating. You stop shrinking to match your current limitations. Instead, you stretch yourself to rise to a higher standard. You begin asking, what would the successful version of me do right now? That simple question changes how you respond to problems, how you prepare, and how you persist. You no longer wait for confidence. You create it. You don't wait to feel powerful. You choose to act powerfully. By stepping into this identity, you also start attracting the people, habits, and opportunities that align with it. You naturally separate yourself from excuses and self-doubt because they don't belong to the person you're becoming. This mindset demands discipline, yes, but it also unlocks energy and focus you didn't know you had. You start to act with clarity and consistency. You become more intentional with your time, more careful with your words, and more courageous in your actions. Over time, this isn't just an act. It becomes who you are, and the world begins to treat you accordingly. Because once you carry yourself like it's already happening, you give life no choice but to respond in kind. Many people mistake faith for fantasy. They think acting as if everything works out means ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. But true faith isn't about denial, it's about direction. It's a mindset that says, even though I can't see the full picture yet, I trust that what I'm doing has value, and I believe it will lead somewhere good. Faith doesn't eliminate the struggle. It empowers you to move through it. It fuels you when there's no applause, when the outcome is still uncertain, and when the road gets hard. That kind of faith is what separates those who keep moving from those who give up too soon. There's nothing foolish about believing in your potential or trusting the process. In fact, it takes far more courage to act in faith than it does to wait for guaranteed outcomes. When you act with belief, when you wake up and give your best even though success hasn't shown up yet, you're building more than a dream. You're building discipline, resilience, and strength. You're training your mind to focus on possibility instead of fear. And in doing so, you become the kind of person who can handle success once it arrives. Faith is fuel because it powers action. Without it, you're always stuck in hesitation, waiting for perfect timing or clearer signs. But when you act as if things will work out, you generate motion. And motion creates opportunities. Even setbacks become stepping stones because you interpret them through a lens of purpose, not defeat. You stop being paralyzed by uncertainty and start becoming bold in the face of it. That's the power of acting in faith. It doesn't guarantee an easy road, but it guarantees a meaningful one. And more often than not, it leads exactly where you hoped it would. Life doesn't just respond to your actions. It responds to your presence. The way you carry yourself, the tone you use, the belief in your eyes. All of it sends a message to the world. When you begin to show up as someone who truly believes things are working out, everything starts to shift. You walk with more purpose. You speak with more certainty. You stop waiting to be rescued by circumstance and start taking ownership of your path. That kind of mindset doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you attract. People sense confidence. They're drawn to those who lead with belief, not doubt. The world starts treating you differently when you treat yourself like someone who is becoming exactly who they're meant to be. When you act from a place of belief, challenges no longer shake you the same way. You may still feel fear, but you don't let it steer the ship. Instead, you take each step with the quiet understanding that you are building something that matters. You stop reacting to every storm and begin anchoring yourself in purpose. You become proactive instead of reactive, focused instead of frantic. That consistency creates power, and people notice. The truth is, when you move through life as if it's all working out, you're not just faking confidence. You're shaping your reality. The energy you send out influences what comes back. You speak with clarity, you act with boldness, and you carry yourself with a sense of direction. Over time, life begins to mirror that energy. Doors open. Support shows up. Progress happens. Not because you waited for conditions to change, but because you changed the way you approached them. And that is the essence of growth. You lead, and your life follows.